Today is it Saturday the 29th? So yesterday I was asked at the last minute to leave a place where I was giving everything of myself again. Volunteerism, all the skill sets and the people that claim to have been colonized and oppressed did the same to me while also siding with the people doing it still to them. And so my cat and I left, and he was a brave little guy on the ferry. It was a rough ferry and a lot of money laundering patterns in this thing, and it will qualify again as human rights complaints, criminal activity complaint, union grievance. I mean, it's status quo of money laundering and just people not deviating. And so I was lucky to get the last spot in a campground, and the lady that's new and confirmed my form is allowing me to stay for 2 weeks for free. And it's the Canada late day long weekend, so it's busy, and a lot of kids crying and yelling and you know trying to do errands to find work or volunteer. And like I go to there's a place where the guy's giving me a good deal on a bike, and I go there and he's not there for a week, and people from the side business, I don't know if it's linked to that business, the gym, the two ladies, you look really upset and they won't say, but and he hasn't answered my email to it. Another place that's selling his bikes, and just horrible ability to communicate and be trusted, totally different price or different answer on warranty, and just a dishonesty everywhere. And again, go to a McDonald's on my way out of visiting a shelter, animal wildlife rescue, and it's like this place is broken down big time. And there's one older lady there who seems nice, doing only birds, and she says, "Oh, the SPCA does dogs, and they just fired their manager." So maybe, well, I said I don't have a good opinion of the SPCA. I might still try it, but. And then Purr is a place that does cats only, and it might be the place I contacted before to help with neutering, and people complain we barely have any funding. And this wildlife place, we don't have any funding, so you can only volunteer, and the volunteer is supposed to keep looking for funding. It's, oh my God, the monetary paradigm has killed you all, and it's slow. And the good news for you is you're not aware of it, or you don't care to be aware of it, or you don't care if you are aware of it. I don't have that advantage. At the McDonald's, everything extra cooked, the bread, toast, I repeat. Go with the milkshake to see if it helps whatever's still happening with my digestion. And it's only the meat that's extra cooked. If the bread, I mean, maybe if they keep it hot while they're extra cooking the meat, they think that means it's toasted. People don't know the difference between toasted and hot anymore. Well, they do when they're at home, but not when you keep asking for it. Gas station, I go buy some things there, and it's like I asked during the transaction before I pay. I said, "Are you sure I got the deal?" There's people waiting in line again, people from India, and I say I get her to look at the receipt after, and she says, and she doesn't even confirm what was on sale. She already knew, like the signs right there. I talked about it, and then I said, "Well, yeah, I'll take the $3 whatever difference back in cash. Yeah, you want a refund in cash? Yeah. Well, you stole from me. Do you want me to do a complaint or whatever?" That's what I didn't say that, but so she gives me three exactly in change for the cash, but not whatever the exact amount might be. Nobody cares. Everybody's stealing from everybody, and it's easier. And they don't do it really from because they want to steal or they pocket the money. They're just being thorough. Having human standards is just too much effort. I feel bad for my cat because he's like doing errands, and it's really bumpy roads there. This horrible bumpy roads on the highway closer to Prince Rupert, like you really go up and down with the shocks. And then the place with the wilderness is like that entire road where a lot of new houses are. horrible pavement. I do my best. Just, oh man, the in and out of the pool or gymnasium area is really, it's a silly intersection. There's a lot of silly intersections. A lot of silly, badly done roads, where there's industry making so much money, but for others, I guess, to have fancy homes on desert islands where they violate the human rights at higher levels of people that they manage to get on there. That's the species I share DNA with. So I guess at some point he was tired, and I don't know, I opened the windows because, it's still smelling the pee that he did on himself during the fair ride and some of the things. So I opened, and some of the window I knew had a crack in the screen was starting to get detached. I don't know if he left, but I just did a much more thorough search to see if he got stuck or trapped underneath something that's really messy in here when I'm trying to advocate for us to have a new place. Because people don't seem to really be able to care about us. And I've had to say this to a boss recently. I said, you have no right to feel bad while you are my oppressor, right? I can't comfort you. You can't ask your victims to comfort you about the feelings you have while you continue to victimize them, and you don't need to. You can let me help you. And it's, anyways. So I start crying right after I finish my thorough search here, because my cat probably left in one of the errands that might not have been the safest for him to get out. And I can't blame him. I wonder if it was at the wildlife center, because there's a lot of smells there, but I don't see any paw tracks or anything. Not that they'd be unless he got them wet before. As far as I know, that's the likely scenario, because I did a fairly thorough search. And so I lost my cat because of the trauma of me not wanting to lower my standards as an Homo sapien who did the work to self-actualize and the maturation process to become an Homo sapien. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him. I just wish he's going to be all right. And of course, he has no clue when he goes out to take care of his own needs because he's tired of this life of always moving around. He probably doesn't know that we might never end up seeing each other again. And I can't blame him for not understanding that, but for just not wanting to go through it again. It was risky going there to that island, with all the red flags from everybody. But the thing is, I have to keep trying, not just for me, but for my cat. And he might end up being happier. I saw him learn a lot of skills on his own and from me, and he'll probably be happier. But even when he's inside here, when he has his own trauma, he's not like a dog that would hear me cry and come to me. He's a cat. I can see his affection, like even before we left there. Before he knew, I was starting to pack, he was coming on me more to be petted instead of beside me, There was a shift in him appreciating me. But again, with the journey that's still incomplete, I can't blame him. And I want to say that never at one point knowing such things were likely to continue to happen. Not just in the last few weeks, but over the last 10 years, let's say, when I decided 10 years ago, no more compromising. No more selling myself or my humanity away, and no more giving in to inhuman forms of domestication to make so-and-so that supposedly cares about me feel less stressed about my life. No, I am not doing it. I am not doing it anymore. I know right and wrong. I've known since I was a kid, and I'm going back to that inner wisdom that we all have. It's part of the programming that we get through evolution, because the biosphere got this complex because of collaborations and win-win scenarios more than competition. But again, today's paradigms find people violating the rights of their own, and sometimes as they are living a life, let's say Indigenous people, where they devote reconciliation, big projects against the government, as they don't even know that they're partaking in ongoing oppression of their own people. They don't even see it anymore. They don't see it. There's a high-level lady that spoke during Indigenous Day where, even my boss, I said, did you know that I'm the one that pretty much put away all the chairs in the gymnasium? No, she didn't know. How do you not know? Again, I'm not criticizing her from not knowing as much as not caring to find out. Or not even say a great thank you when she finds out. Like, I give. So, but never at any point knowing these scenarios keep manifesting because I can't deviate my human standards. I can't. If these things keep happening, and now I don't know if I'll ever see my cat again. And I can live with that. But I tell you, I wish I was dying. I can't commit suicide. I wish I would get like a quick cancer, not even accept medical assistance for it. I can't commit suicide because I live by human standards. I'm not a violent person, and I'm not gonna go out that way because that's not who I am, and it has nothing to do with sin or anything like that. But I tell you, if there's any assassins out there or new assassins that need practice, you have my permission because I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I just turned 54 years old. I'm really tired. And the last point I've been trying to make here as I add more is never at any point when I see these scenarios manifesting and knowing this is what's going to happen, because these people, primates, can't deviate from their HSD. They won't do the right thing, even though it's for themselves and their own people. They'll keep doing the wrong thing, which complicates their own lives, is harmful to their people, to the future generations. They can't stop. Never during any of those times does the thought come in my head that I'll tweak things and compromise some of my human standards and betray myself for the sake of, let's say, having an easier outcome come out of it. As the professor of socio-cybernetics, it's not hard for me to figure out where I could tweak and lower my standards here and there to, let's say, give a more stable life to my cat. I don't think my cat blames me for being a Homo sapien, and I can't blame him for being a cat. And maybe I'll never see him again. And again, the last veterinarian I contacted never answered. Like, where's money going for people that are supposed to use it for things? And it's gone. And again, Canada's not the worst place in the world. It's just like every other place going through its final stages of the Anthropocene.